Hello folks, and welcome to 2024 here on the channel. Although to be fair, it's 2024 everywhere, right? Last time I checked. But I suppose if you're watching this and it's not 2024, you're either a bit late to the party or you've perfected time travel. And if you're in the latter category, if you've worked out how to make time travel function, then what the hell are you doing watching YouTube? And especially a channel like this. I mean, get out there and bloody fix climate change or, prevent an assassination or something, will ya? Go on, off you go. Anyway, back at the ranch, folks. Welcome back. This is a flight simulation channel, last time I checked. First one for 2024. I hope this one finds you well. I hope that you've had a good festive season. I hope that Santa was kind to you. And your families are all in good health. We've got a flight today that is a long one. Won't be a long video, I don't think, but it's going to be a bit of a long trip for the old fella. And it's in tribute to a famous sailing event that takes place down under over the sort of festive period. Starts on Boxing Day and ends, well, it ends whenever your boat gets to the other end, basically, which can be a couple of weeks for some slow coaches. But normally over in line honours, the first few boats across the line sort of get there in the first, couple of days, 2 to 3 days or something like that. I speak, of course, of the Sydney to Hobart yacht race, and we're going to kind of replicate that in some form, in aviation form, in the aircraft on your screen. This is, of course, the FlySimWare Cessna 414 AW Chancellor. I am aware that FlySimWare have released a new aircraft, or early access version of an aircraft. The Learjet 35A has made its way into the community over the break. I'm not sure whether I'll pick that one up. I did have it back in the day, the old version back in FSX or P3D, whatever it was. But I do love BizJets, but whether I'll pick it up for this sim, I don't know. Anyway, folks, let me just quickly show you the flight plan for those of you that are unfamiliar with what the Sydney to Hobart event looks like. Although it's Sydney to Hobart, pretty straightforward. I'll show you the flight plan anyway, and we'll get underway. I am also running with this new fandangled frame generation hack thing. I don't know too much about it. I've installed it, I think. I can't say I'm overly thrilled by it, but we're running with it. I'm gonna test it out. But first, the flight plan. Now here is the flight plan. Now I should just mention that thanks to the magic of television, this segment at first appearance looks like it flows beautifully from the previous one, or as beautifully as segments ever connect on this channel. The truth is quite different. I'm saying these words about half an hour after I said the last words on the previous segment. Sim crash. I said I was going to run with that new frame generation thing. Yeah, no, I'm not. My sim crashed. And I'm okay with that. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Perhaps I did something wrong in terms of how I set it up, but the DX12 thing, I got that little error message come up. Tell me, yeah, today's not today. First flight of the 2024 season. I'm happy to accept that my rig that was once a decent bit of kit is now mid-range at best, and I've got to accept the limitations of the rig, the same way that if you watch this channel, you accept the limitations of the person now speaking to you. Sydney to Hobart is the flight plan, folks. On with the show. Now, the yacht race begins here in Sydney Harbour, and it's quite an event, a Boxing Day tradition there in Sydney, the same way that there's a tradition that happens a bit further south in the country, down in Melbourne, the Boxing Day Test. I speak of the cricket game that takes place. This year, Australia were playing Pakistan. I couldn't tell you what the result was. Used to follow cricket religiously. I don't anymore. We're going to begin our journey not in Sydney Harbour. I mean, I suppose we could if we were flying a float plane. But we're not. We're going to begin it in the main geo strip, which is out here in a little place called Bankstown. Beautiful Bankstown. I may have spent some time there IRL. And I use the term beautiful with some creative license. Shout out to all of you who live in the beautiful western suburbs of Sydney. I used to be one of you. We're going to fly out of Bankstown, departing off one of the 11s, heading to east, overhead Sydney International, and then Botany Bay. And then basically we're going to track the coast pretty much all the way down to a little place called Hobart, which is quite telling, considering the race is from Sydney to Hobart. We're not going to land at Hobart International, which is here. We're actually going to land just up the road at Cambridge Airport, just because we can. I haven't been there for a while. Flight time of almost 3 hours, so quite a long trip in the Chancellor. We're going to go down at flight level 140. Not the most fuel efficient altitude, but seems to be a nice balance based on the wind for me. And I don't mind flying in the sort of mid-flight levels. You get a bit of weather from time to time, and you can still see the ground to some level of detail, and yeah, I don't mind it. But yeah, so Sydney to Hobart, pretty much a coastal run. Destinations en route or sort of points of interest, major population areas. Wollongong will be the first one, and then we're going to be abeam Shell Harbour, down here overhead Mollymook or Ulladulla. Mollymook? I know someone at Mollymook. Wish I could remember who. Might come to me as the flight progresses. Mollymook. Anyway, continuing, South Bateman's Bay, overhead Mystery Bay, beautiful Bermagui, Barraga Bay. I'm just randomly saying place names now, folks. Mogarika, Tathra. What else have we got down here? Marimbula. Jeez, I've made a mess of that. Marimbula, even. It's my first flight of the season, folks. Give me some credit. Eden. Eden plays a role in this race. Yachts that sort of get stranded out here try and make their way into Eden or get towed into Eden. Gabbo Island, and then basically we're overhead the blue stuff for a while, overhead Bass Strait, until we see terra firma again via Killicranky. What a great name, Killicranky, and then overhead St Helens, and then sort of down the east coast of Tassie. Friendly Beaches, that's a beautiful name, and then into Cambridge. So around about, 3 hours of the best flying you can do at this time of the year, folks. I'll get us underway. We'll have a chat en route about something or other. There'll be a feature YouTube channel at some point, and there'll be a landing into Cambridge at the end. Sound all right? Let's do it. All right, so engine start has been achieved. We're just gently making our way onto runway 11 centre here in Bankstown this fine morning. Do have company for today's journey. She's back. Hello, my dear.
Hi.
We'll catch up with you en route, and I think you've also got some. You brought some friends as well. Might try and catch up with them as well. It's going to be a long flight, folks. I need to do something to keep myself interested. So making shit up is it's par for the course here on the channel. Welcome back. Any recent subscribers, all subscribers, welcome all back for another year of fun and frivolity. Frivolity, that's a difficult word to say so early in the year as well. Flight 140 plugged in here. We're going, our first waypoint is the Sydney VOR. Transponder is transpondering. We've got plenty of juice, although I'm not even going to bother checking or displaying it up here. I think we're pretty much right to go. I didn't really have a look at the wind. Oh, it's a light crosswind from the south by the looks of it. I think we're pretty much right to go. We'll do this thing, hey? Haven't flown it for a bit. Here we go. Introduce some juicies, more juicies, and full juicies. Away we go. Beautiful sounding aeroplane, this one. Airspeed's alive. Tracking the centre line. Come up through 80 now. Rotate around about 90. Will be quite heavy, my guess. Around about there we'll try and get airborne. And we do. Well, she wants to go. Alright, positive rate and all that. No flaps to worry about because I forgot to deploy them. Makes it easy, doesn't it? Climb out to about 500 feet. I love this aeroplane. One of my favourites. Alright, we'll start throttling back here. Cut back on the juicies a tad, bring those props in as well. Alright, we'll head out towards Sydney Airport. Climbing out at about 130 knots, I think, is the kind of the nice sweet spot in this aeroplane. I'll get flight director on, get Georgie doing some flying so I can take an external. And he can sort of keep us trucking. We leave Bankstown behind. Nice day in Sydney by the looks of it. Sydney CBD. Sydney Tower. What are they calling that now? It used to be called Centrepoint, didn't it? Or was it MLC Tower? No, Centrepoint, something like that. It's been a while, folks. Botany Bay. Kingsford Smith there. Beautiful urban sprawl it is. Sydney stretches for a long way in this direction now, doesn't it? Yeah, shout out to you all who hail from this part of the world. Hope you're all doing well and looking forward to the 2024 simming season. We've got it looks to be a pretty interesting year ahead. We should see a new release of the Microsoft Sim. There's a whole lot of aircraft which are in the works as well. So yes, it looks promising. Get Georgie tracking the GPS track. Got a nice little tailwind here. You'll have to do a lefty and then gentle back onto the right. Georgie, sorry about that, mate. I should have got close with the magenta for you by myself. Still in holiday mode, still in that lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer sort of thing. Sydney International. Anyway, folks, a lot of flying to do. I'll next join you somewhere in the cruise at flight level 140 is the plan. Folks, welcome to flight level 140. That's the gong, Wollongong behind us, and then sort of Kiama down here, and just a beautiful part of the world. It's a nice day. We are fighting a bit of a headwind. We've got a 24 knot sort of southwesterly. We're getting along the ground at 204 knots. Forecasting our destination in about 2 hours 37 minutes. So we've been in the air for about 25 minutes. So the little NavMap forecast wasn't too far off. Around about sort of 3 hours worth of flying to do, and I was hoping to use this flight to explore that frame generation hack thing, but when the sim crashed before I got off the ground, before I started the engines, the universe has given me a sign. I may have done something wrong, and I'm happy to hear that others have had success in doubling their frames and getting more life out of old graphics cards. I find it humorous. We talk about I've got a 3070, which 3 years ago was pretty good. Now it's mid-range at best, and I look at what the current sort of graphics cards are running for. I'm like, geez, this 3070 will have to do me for years to come, years. And so when I saw that come through over the break, get improved performance of older generation graphics cards with this hack, I thought, yeah, give me some of that. I might have mentioned during the intro segment, I wasn't that impressed with it. I've only just fired it up, but I was seeing people getting, they were talking about 60 and 70 FPS. I was getting 40. Right now, I'm getting 30. I am limiting it, but unlimited, I was only getting about 40. So I could have done something wrong, or perhaps there's something on my rig that doesn't take full advantage of the hack. Perhaps there's a newer version that I don't know. And I think I mentioned in a previous video last year about the whole tweakathon, tweakapalooza. You go down rabbit holes if you're not careful. And at the end of the day, I just want to fly, and I know what this rig can do if I treat it with respect, and if I compromise and I'm realistic. It goes pretty well most of the time, so I'm happy with that. Shall we catch up with Judy? Let's do that. Jude, through the magic of television, boom, straight to you. That's a hard cut, as they call in the trade, Jude. Judy, how was your Christmas, love?
It was lonely.
Lonely? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Why was it lonely?
Because you were with another woman.
Jude, you do realise I do have another woman. I have had for a long time. Jude, don't give me that look either. You're conveniently forgetting that you are a fantasy flight sim character that I've created in my insanity. Right? There is actually a real life. I'm living it. There's a woman in that real life. Okay? And yes, I chose to spend my Christmas with her. So, I'm not going to apologise, Jude. I see. We might just leave it there, Jude. I didn't expect that's where we were going, but anyway, on with the show, folks. Right, so after that last exchange with Jude, I've vacated the flight deck for a bit, folks. Get a bit of warm air. Gee, she's given off some seriously icy vibes, my friend Judy. And I've ducked into the cabin here. Got a couple of packs on board. I thought we might take this opportunity to meet them. A bit of time to kill. And I'll start with this woman here now. She's giving a fine impression of a store mannequin. I mean, she's as stiff as they come. As far as I know, she's alive. Well, shall we try and engage with her and maybe need to turn on a bit of that old Aussie charm, eh? I'll try it. G'day, love. How you going, alright? Okay. Silence. Probably should have spent a little bit more time thinking this one through, folks, but anyway, work with me. Maybe the American style. How you doing?
I'm good.
Ah, you sound a lot like Jude, don't you? What's your name? What?
Mary.
Mary. Okay. You do sound a lot like Jude. How does that work?
You didn't bother to change the voice.
Oh, you don't just sound like Jude, you've got her attitude as well. Yes, okay. I mean, don't let facts get in the way of the good story. Yes, okay. I've only got one female voice. Didn't have to bloody reveal that to the audience though. Mary? Jesus, a couple of unplanned interactions here. I really should spend more time. I should get script writers to do this stuff. Mary, we might just leave it there with you, because there's a passenger to your right, to my left, that intrigues me. So you just sit there, chill. I don't think you'll find that too difficult, man. As we... Oh, Jesus Christ. Mate, you look how I felt on Boxing Day. Oh, my friend, that vacant stare, the bloodshot eyes, the unkempt hairdo, the thinker's pose. What do you got on your shirt, by the way? What's down here? Bliss, tranquil, good, nice. Are they all motivational words? Hey, you're trying to pick yourself up, mate. You look like yeah, you might be having a bit of a tough time of it. Let me see if I can engage you. What, mate? Are you all right?
Do I look all right?
No, I probably a silly question. What's your name, mate?
Brian.
Brian. Well, it's nice to meet you. My name is not Brian. Well, maybe it is. Oh, I don't think it is. But I'm not going to tell you my name, mate, because, well, quite frankly, this is the one and only time we're ever going to speak. You're not going to remember this, and I'm going to want to forget this interaction. Brian, I'm going to just leave you be, all right? I'm going to get you to Cambridge, and maybe you can access some support services down there, champ. I'm going to jump back in the cockpit if that's all right. I'll see you later, mate. And folks, that is just a sample of what untreated mental illness can bring to a flight simulation channel. I'll next see you closer to our destination. I'll have a YouTube channel. I'll come up with one by then. I do have one in mind. One that will give you, or a person that will feature in the YouTube channel, a person that will give you reason to smile and perhaps even to laugh. I'll see you then. Alright folks, so the random YouTube channel segment. For those of you that are still interested in the flying bit, this is the south coast of New South Wales. We're kind of getting towards Eden, which I think is down sort of there. Tathra's before that, and Eden. We're not too far from the border between New South Wales and Victoria. So, and everything's going well from a flying perspective. But the random YouTube channel that I'm bringing to you today is called the Jay Leno Fly. There's a particular reason that I chose this channel. I've watched this channel a bit. On this channel features a whole lot of this guy. His name's Craig Ferguson. He had a talk show back in the day. For mine, one of the best talk show hosts that's ever existed. Carson generally gets top billing as the best, and there have been a lot of talk show hosts. There are a lot. There's sort of a core sort of contingent of, I don't know, 6 or 7 at the moment. For mine, Ferguson is right up there. I like his style. He's been off the air as a talk show host for a little while. He's done some other things. But he was very fortunate. Watch his show. Watch this channel and you'll see what his show is about. It was a unique talk show. He was fortunate to have this guy who's seated next to him join him on 5 occasions, it would appear, over the years. The guy that's sort of leaning back in the chair is, of course, the one, the only Mr. Robin Williams. We lost him. The world lost him 10 years ago this year. It's been 10 years. Can you believe it? 10 years ago, he took his own life. And the world of comedy changed. The world changed. We lost someone truly special. For mine, Robin Williams is one of the greats. One of the great comedians. His ability to improvise. His ability to make something out of nothing was unsurpassed. He was an absolute joy to watch as an actor, as a comedian, and he was absolutely in his element when he appeared on Craig Ferguson's talk show. So if you want to laugh, and if you want to remember one of the world's funniest people 10 years after we lost him, head on over to the Jay Leno Fly, and particularly to the clips featuring Robin Williams. And yeah, the word for today is chlamydia. If you watch this clip, you'll understand why. I'll see you for the approach segment into Cambridge, folks. Alright, we're getting there, folks. Welcome to the island of Tasmania, the Apple Isle, as it is known. St Helens is kind of in the distance up here, down the road, so to speak. Been a good flight. We have been fighting a headwind for most of the way, but it's kind of turned, what was a southwesterly has turned more westerly the further we've flown. So as we sort of left the mainland and crossed over into the strait, that headwind became a slight tailwind, and we've been making reasonable time. In the last half an hour or so. We're expecting touchdown in less than half an hour now. Kind of flying along the coast. St Helens about 11 miles away, and then Cambridge Hobart is our destination. Just want to take this opportunity to say thank you for the comments that were left on my last video of 2023. I posted that video and then kind of walked away from YouTube for a bit. It's only in the last day or so that I've been sort of re-engaging, and I've noticed those comments come through, so I just want to say thank you. I'll try and acknowledge all of them and reply to as many as I can. That's something that I do feel is very important. I do try and reply to as many comments as I can. There are some comments that I can't reply to because I don't know how to, and there are some comments that get removed from my channel. Not because they are critical. There's plenty of comments that are critical that I leave up. I have no problem whatsoever with that. But there are some comments that are dead set weird, concerning, and some of the stuff that's come through, does not belong on a public site. I don't know whether people are on the juice when they make the comments or whether they're just having a bad day, but holy shit, there's some weird stuff. So, but to the vast majority, which is probably 98% of the feedback that comes through, I just want to say thank you for your support during 2023, and now we're into 2024. I don't know what the channel will look like in 2024. The channel will exist. There'll probably be more videos published. I don't know how many. I don't know what type of videos, although I suspect that they will be similar to what I generally publish. So there's not going to be some radical departure. You've been here a while, you know what you get on this channel. It's my little place on YouTube. I make the videos I want to make, the way I want to make them. Sometimes people like them, sometimes they don't. But I just try and be authentic, and that's what you get. So there'll be more of the same, I guess, is what I'm saying. How many videos, I don't know. I took a long break last year. I suspect I'll take breaks during the year. But when I feel like making a video, I'll publish it. And whether it's 3 videos or 300 videos for the year, your support is always appreciated. I will next see you folks as we turn overhead St Helens. Next see you for an approach. We'll check the weather, see what it's doing down there in Hobart. So well on descent folks, but I thought I'd just mention, and I think I might have mentioned at the start of the video, that I wasn't going to check the fuel gauges. Well, I saw the fuel low warnings enunciate over here on the panel. I thought, I wonder just how low I am. Well, I'm down to 6%. We've got 28 miles to run, around about 10 minutes till touchdown. We're down to 6%. We're going to land on fumes here. We may actually experience a fuel exhaustion situation prior to heading to Cambridge. We've got a direct line to Cambridge. It'll be a very tight circuit, but and I've got us leaned out. I've got us as lean as a bloody marathon runner, but I don't know that we're going to have enough juices to get us there. So at this point, we're starting to look outside for a suitable diversion location. That looks like a nice little township over there. I'm sure they wouldn't mind if a Chancellor popped in for a spot of lunch, unannounced. Yeah, Hobart, in thy distance. We'll continue. We'll go as long as we can. We'll fly this thing as far as we can into the crash, if that's what we need to do. But anyway, fingers crossed, folks. Fingers crossed and sphincters tightened. Right, concluding stages, folks. 7 miles to touchdown. Again, give Georgie a rest, take the flight director off, come back on the juicies. Cambridge is out there at a 12 o'clock position. 6 miles now. We're going to be a little high. I don't mind being a little high at this point. I'm kind of expecting to make a glide approach. We've got to be down to about 3 or 4% worth of juicies. We're going to fly. Apparently the wind on the ground is a strong southerly, although yeah, it is a southerly holding up at the moment. And runway 14 is our plan into Cambridge. We'll just zoom in there. 5 miles to run. We're going to keep ourselves high. We're going to give ourselves a final of some sort. That's that gear warning. We'll just fly a tight left base down onto runway 14 Cambridge. We can descend though, mate. Just keep that power in enough. Take first stage of flap. I'm not going to take gear until a little bit later. What did I say earlier about not being sure of what will be on this channel this year? You can have some confidence that it'll feature more half-baked flying, bad jokes, and obscure references to sexually transmitted diseases. That's what you can be assured of, folks. With an emphasis on the half-baked flying. That's for sure. Righto, Cambridge should come into view here momentarily. We'll take gear here. There's Hobart International out here. That's where the fire trucks would be. Not that we're going to need them, because we won't have any fuel to catch on fire. Cambridge, that little strip down here at about a 11 o'clock position. 1.8 miles. Keep that view. Right, we're into the wide arc. We can take another stage of flap. Cambridge comes into view, the runway. Was it a dirt strip or something here? What's going on? Oh, there we go, it's popping in. take a full flap now, change the view back to this one. Runway 14 is the go. Engines are still running, props are still turning. I reckon we could probably glide it in from here anyway. We're good. Oh, that breeze has held up beautifully, straight down the strip for us. Handy. 90 knots. Retrimming. Runway 14 Cambridge, Tasmania, folks. Bit of sinky. Lot of sinky. Wow, what's happening there? Right, we'll go back to idle, float it out a tad. Oh, I'm not quite sure what happened there. We got a major dose of the sinkies. Did we lose a whole bunch of airspeed? Potentially. Up the hill here. Oh, try and keep it on the strip. Always a challenge taxiing this bastard. Anyway, folks, welcome to Cambridge, Tasmania. Thank you for your company on another flight. I don't dare give it any juice. I'm just going to let us roll to the end of the strip. Towards the car park will do us. Here we go. We'll kind of find a spot to park down here, just on the taxiway. Will do us, mate. We won't have enough juice to find the actual ramp. Okay, parking brake on. Job done, folks. We made it. Folks, until we next meet again, you stay well, enjoy your simming. Welcome to 2024, and bye for now.